Hey guys, so WWE had a premium live event live from San Juan, Puerto Rico this weekend. Yes, we had a premium live event in La Isla for my people, my beloved buddies, for WWE Backlash. So, my name is JustinRitch, and welcome to the WWE Backlash Review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is JustinRitch, and we are here to talk about WWE Backlash, specifically things I liked on the show, things I didn't like about the show, my match recommendation, and at the very end, I'm gonna give my review. So, Backlash, we finally, after over a decade of not having a pay-per-view or a premium live event in Puerto Rico, we finally got one this weekend for WWE Backlash, the headliners, should I say, because eventually we ended up with a double main event. That's right, we had two main events on Backlash. The first one being Bad Bunny and Damian Priest in a San Juan street fight, and the second one being Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes in a straight up 1v1 match. So, the 4-point play, three things I liked from the show, one thing that I didn't like from the show, my match recommendation, and my pay-per-view rating overall on a scale of 1 to 5 mics, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. With that in mind, let's get into this. First thing that I liked from WWE Backlash is Zelina Vega receives her flowers. Yes, La Reina, the former Queen of the Ring, the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, had a high-profile match on this card with one Rhea Ripley, the Eater of Worlds, Mommy, and all different nicknames, but she has been the dominant champion that dethroned Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. Going into Backlash, this was her first title defense of, even though it's a SmackDown Women's title, she's technically on Raw. Thanks a lot, WWE Draft, for kind of confusing that up a little bit, but she is one of your women's champions. So she was defending said title against Zelina Vega in front of our beloved Puerto Rican crowd. Zelina being one of us, and being arguably the first high-profile singles match Zelina's had in WWE, really, that I can think of. I can't remember the last time she's had a titles match 1v1, and I can't remember a high-profile singles match that she's had 1v1 in WWE, so this might be the first one that she's had. So to have that elaborate entrance coming out in the Puerto Rican colors, red, white, and blue, with the Puerto Rican flag, arms out, flag out, the monstrous pop that she got coming to the ring with the theme song. And then shout out to Samantha Irvin, who was just spot on with the announcements. And then for Zelina to get that roar from the crowd during the entrance, where you could see Zelina was getting choked up, and I honestly started crying some thug tears too, because I was like, this is so special, because we don't get a lot of these opportunities to where we don't get a lot of these high profile matches, and especially in front of like our hometown people, in front of our home crowds. You don't get a lot of that often. So to see Zelina really bash this in and the crowd just give it back to her was just like tremendous. And then they had the match. Yo, Zelina wasn't playing because she had the chancleta. She was ready for war against Rhea Ripley, which she needed to be, because you are the underdog from the start. A lot of people did not have Zelina Vega pulling out the upset and winning the title against Rhea Ripley in this one. So Zelina had to try to do everything she could to try to gain an advantage, and she had the champion on the ropes. She really had the champion reeling for a while, but Rhea Ripley pulls it out. It's still your SmackDown Women's Champion, technically Raw Women's Champion, but we'll handle that another time, because this is not about the title, what brands are on. Even Rhea Ripley, amazing, we love Rhea, but this was about Zelina getting her flowers. And then after the match, when Rhea Ripley goes to the back, Zelina's left in the ring, and the crowd and the music stops, and the crowd is just applauding, standing ovation, showing a lot of love and appreciation. Yo soy boricua, pa que tú lo sepa. And just chanting and chanting, and just Zelina getting choked up again. I started choking up a second time. It's rare when you see me cry like that or tear up, but man, just to see like Zelina really get that moment was just something special, and you don't see a lot. So that was the first thing that I really loved about this pay-per-view. Bianca Belair and Iyo Sky. Man, what a match. What a way to start off the pay-per-view. What a hot crowd. This crowd was very, very pro Iyo Sky from the jump. Now, granted, they showed Bianca her proper due because Bianca is Himothy. Bianca is your longest women's champion on either show. She's passed over a year. She's coming on 400. If she hasn't passed 400 days yet, she's coming up on it. But I believe she's already passed 400 days by this point. She has taken on all comers. She has beaten damn near everyone. It's getting to a point where it's like, who's left for Bianca to face? That's how many people she's beaten on this dominant run as champion. Then you have Iyo Sky, 1/3 of Damage Control. Someone that we forget is a former NXT Women's Champion, who was NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, who is a decorated wrestler as a singles competitor from multiple companies. We forget the genius of the Sky and just how great she is in the ring. So to have a high profile match of this magnitude where she's going 1v1 against someone that she's had history with, because Bianca and Iyo have crossed paths in NXT before. So someone that they're familiar with each other, even though it's been a minute like that. But to have a 1v1, no damage control, Iyo straight up, Bianca straight up, and man, did they bring the physicality. They just tore the house down. This was like I said, this was a very pro Iyo crowd from the jump, and they were letting it known that, yo, we are 1000% behind her. We basically adopt Iyo Sky. She is now one of us, because that crowd, anything she did, they were oohing, they were ahhing, they were cheering. She gets offense in, they were 1000% behind it. And when I tell you they brought the physicality, there were spots where Iyo took some bumps where I was just like, god damn. And there was times where Bianca took some spots where it's just like, what are you doing? But in the end, and still, you're technically Raw Women's Champion, even though she's on SmackDown, but still technically you're champion. You're a dominant champion. The reign continues. Bianca Belair continues on marching forward, but Iyo Sky, this is a star-making performance if Iyo wasn't already a star, because this is something that's just like, man, you can just continue on this train and just really skyrocket someone. Like, a lot of people don't get these type of reactions in front of crowds on pay-per-view, but when you get these type of moments, this is where, like, yo, put the rocket on their back and let them go. And Iyo Sky, we haven't really given her her proper due, but at the same time, we haven't seen her put on a match like this in WWE, really. Like, we saw her put on a banger against Sasha Banks at NXT Great American Bash, but that was on NXT pay-per-view, and that was also during the pandemic where outside was closed, so we couldn't really have like the crowd reaction that you normally would want. You know, a little subdued, but at the same time, like, we've never seen Iyo put on this type of match in WWE before, and it was just like, yo, phenomenal shit. So shout out to both women. How do we not talk about Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, the Civil War, the Puerto Rican from the island, the Puerto Rican from New York, the physical dominant specimen that is Damian Priest, the veteran of this game, been there, done that, not gonna phase him. The upstart, Bad Bunny, the celebrity, the biggest artist in the world at the moment, someone that puts his all into everything, both in music and in wrestling. And then you have this San Juan street fight, where basically you're in Puerto Rico, the home of hardcore wrestling. And when I tell you the reaction that this crowd had, because this crowd was split going into this, you had a lot of people from the island and other Puerto Ricans in general just like, yo, who do we cheer for? Because we love both of them. We love Bad Bunny. We love Damian Priest. Who do we really go for? And people were split. You'd be surprised that a lot of people were rooting for Damian Priest. Some people like the bad guy. Yeah, also a lot of people that were cheering for Benito. So this is one of those matches that we were all just like, please don't die. Put on a banger, put on a gem, entertain us, but please don't die. Please don't get hurt. Damian Priest comes out in the white and black with the Puerto Rican flag on the gear, just healing it up, but just like, yo, let's go. And then Bad Bunny's music hits, but it's not Booker T. It's Shambea. Yes, Bad Bunny's come out to Shambea. And then you have the drone shot behind Bad Bunny while Bad Bunny's like in the tunnel. And then Bad Bunny walks out to the crowd and the drone follows him to where like the crowd just goes nuclear. They pop for Bad Bunny. They're singing along to Shambea. The drone is going all around the crowd and you see people just dancing, celebrating, trying to high-five Benito and just taking his in and just letting all of their vocal cords just like scream at the top of their lungs. And then Bad Bunny goes and gets the shopping cart full of toys. We got candlesticks. We got trash cans. We got chairs. We got all types of weaponry in that shopping cart that Benito takes into the ring. And then the match begins. And they beat the shit out of each other. To an extent that Bad Bunny's pulling out Michinoku drivers. Damian Priest is just working him, using his physicality, using his size against Benito. Benito's using all types of weaponry against him. Damian Priest puts Bad Bunny through a fucking table on the outside. Yes, that actually happened where he put him through a table on the outside. And then Bad Bunny gets back to the ring and gets the weapons. Starts working Damian Priest's limbs and stuff like that. Starts going for the knee, starts going for the ankle. I'm using the candlesticks. I'm using chains. I'm using chairs. And then you can't have a Damian Priest match and not have Judgment Day give off. Like, bro, when you have a crew like that, that's going to have your back, you got to utilize them. And so Finn Bálor, Dominik Mysterio, right on cue. Come out, come to Damian Priest's aid, start beating the hell out of Bad Bunny. But then, is that Carlito's music I hear? Yes, that is Carlito's music. The crowd goes wild. Carlito looking amazing, incredible, gets in the ring, helps out Bad Bunny, starts to clear out Judgment Day, but then the number's still not in their favor. It's 3-2. So, is that Savio Vega's music? Yes, the Savio Vega, the Hall of Famer, who earlier gave Bad Bunny a special candlestick to use against Damian Priest, pulls up. Crowd is going nuclear. They're going ape shit. And then Savio Vega, he's not alone. He also pulls up with the rest of LWO. Santos, Escobar, Legado del Fantasma, Rey Mysterio. And then they just jump this shit out of Judgment Day. It is glorious to watch. I'm at home at the edge of my seat just going crazy. The crowd is eating all of this up. They are going bonkers. And then finally, when the ring is clear and you're back to just Damian y Benito finally gets the victory over Damian Priest. Stands tall against 1/4 of Judgment Day. And then LWO comes out with Savio Vega, with Carlito. They put Bad Bunny on the shoulders of LWO. They hoist him up. He's got the Puerto Rican flag. He's showing love to the crowd. He's standing in victory. Damian Priest is on the outside of the ring, sitting on the apron, or back to the apron, in defeat, looking up. Damn, I just lost a San Juan street fight to Benito. But the place is going mental because from start to end, this match was fantastic. Let's get to one thing I didn't like about this show. Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar closing the show. I have an issue with this. I will state that I understand WWE's logic going into this and why they had Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar close the show and also change up and make it a double main event. On one hand, you have Bad Bunny, the biggest artist in the world, but not a full-time wrestler. This is someone that has wrestled in WWE before, but this is his first high-profile singles match. This is his first singles match period in WWE. Then you have a high-profile singles match, and then you're having said high-profile singles match on a premium live event. You also have Damian Priest, who has wrestled many years in the business, has been in WWE for a while. This is also probably his first high-profile singles match in a minute, if he's ever had one in WWE to this magnitude. You have a street fight. You have so many moving parts of the street fight, but this could either be a home run or this could go bad in certain different ways, especially when you have a guy who's never really wrestled a singles match before and someone that's really never been in this spot to where you might be the main event of a premium live event. That's a lot to ask for. Meanwhile, you have Cody Rhodes, a veteran of this game, someone that has main evented premium live events, someone that just main evented WrestleMania, someone that's main evented multiple shows to where you feel very comfortable with Cody Rhodes in the spot, especially that he's basically going to be the face of your franchise at some point. You also have Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, the guy who's been your franchise player for many, many years, someone that Vince McMahon trusts wholeheartedly, someone that Triple H also trusts, someone that's main evented many of shows. It's to the point that his resume has resumes. You just got to stack them on each other to where you know what you're getting out of Cody and Brock in the main event versus you don't know what you're getting out of Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. However, with that being said, why I didn't like this was because Benito and Damian hit that shit out of the park. That was a home run. That was a grand slam. You had the crowd going nuclear from start to finish. And then it took a minute to really get this crowd back. Now, granted, this was a very, very good Puerto Rico crowd. But they didn't have that same energy for Cody and Brock. And rightfully so, because all the heat going into this pay-per-view was Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, there's some heat there, but at the same time, it's like, you're in Puerto Rico. Bad Bunny is not only the biggest artist in the world, Puerto Ricans adore him. You have Damian Priest. Puerto Ricans love him. And then you're going to add the elements of LWO, which the Latino community all love and respect. Savio Vega in his home country. Carlito in his home country. The crowd is 1000% here for this match. Why are you not making that the main event? It makes no sense. And then on top of that, you're putting all the pressure on Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes to somehow match that. It's like good luck because they basically, it may not have been a 5-star match, but that basically felt like a 5-star match. It's like, yeah, go top that. And it's like, well, fuck, how the hell we're supposed to? Granted, Cody and Brock was a really good match. They were physical. They beat the shit out of each other. Brock bled a lot. The Crimson Mask was all over the face. It's basically to the point that you see in the pictures. I had to put them in black and white. Why? Because it was that much blood. And then Cody somehow ekes out a victory over Brock and got the fuck out of there. I know people have been clowning on social media for that. Like, why would Cody Rhodes, your biggest babyface, run away from Brock Lesnar? Are you serious? Have you seen Brock Lesnar? Not only did Cody Rhodes fight the bear, he made the bear bleed. He beat the bear. And then he's getting the fuck out of there before the bear reacts and attacks him again. Because Brock is like that. That man is a beast for a reason. I would have hightailed my ass out of here. I've said it before. The only thing I'm challenging Brock to is a game of Uno. I want no smoke with the Beast Incarnate. So I don't blame Cody for running away, but I do blame WWE for, like, I get why you did what you did, but Bad Bunny and Damian Priest really needed the main event and not Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. So that's the one thing I did not like about this pay-per-view. Now, let's get to my match recommendations. I got 2. Yes, the first review I ever do, and I'm coming out with 2 match recommendations, which basically tells you how good this pay-per-view was that I have 2, and for different reasons. So the first one is Bianca Belair versus Iyo Sky. Now, we went into detail about this match and how this match was fantastic. It was your opener, and they did a very, very great job. But it was just in ring, the quality of this was just incredible. From start to finish, it's hard hitting, a lot of counters, a lot of near falls. And this is a match that if someone's watching wrestling for the first time and you put this on and be like, yo, this is where women's wrestling is now. Think of back in the day when you have bra and panties matches, or you have Trish Stratus and Lita struggling to get high profile matches, to get time wrestling, or just where women's wrestling has gone in general, where it's kind of like fluctuating like a roller coaster. And if you're watching wrestling the first time and you pull up Bianca Belair and Iyo Sky, you'd be like, yo, who the hell is Bianca Belair? Yo, who the hell is Iyo Sky? Can I get more of this? This is where women's wrestling is at. So Bianca Belair, Iyo Sky. The second match I'm recommending is Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. Is arguably the match of the night. It's my favorite match on this card. You get a gimmick match, San Juan street fight. When you have street fights, this can go so many different ways because we've seen so many different street fights. But if you're watching this for the first time and you're watching one of the most talented wrestlers in the world versus one of the biggest artists on the planet, this is like watching like an AJ Styles versus Jay-Z, where it's like, wait, we're about to get this match and they're gonna fight, and then you're gonna turn it into like a Brooklyn street fight, and it's gonna be the best thing on this card. Yes, because it's that damn good. Because Benito brought his A game, Damian brought his A game. It made perfect sense to have Judgment Day interfere. It made perfect sense for Savio, Vega, Carlito, and LWO to have Benito's back. This is something that if you're watching wrestling for the first time, you're just gonna watch this and just be in awe and just be like, holy shit. I was entertained from start to finish. This is amazing. Let's run this back. I gotta watch this again. So, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest is my second match recommendation. These are two matches that I love for different reasons, but they are both bangers. And if you're watching wrestling for the first time, you won't be disappointed. Now, let us get to what you're all here for. My actual rating of this pay-per-view. If I give a pay-per-view 5 mics, then basically the pay-per-view is a classic. I highly recommend, a must-watch. Really, zero faults on this card, start to finish. Go watch this immediately. If I give this pay-per-view a 4 mic rating, then it's very good. Probably 1 or 2 things I really didn't like, but overall, this is very, very good. I have a highly recommended match. Pull this up when you have time. If I give this pay-per-view a 3 mic rating, then basically it was solid. There was things I liked, there was things I didn't like, but this was a very solid pay-per-view. If you got some time, I would pull it up. Definitely watch the match that I recommend. You won't be disappointed. If I give this pay-per-view a 2 mic rating, then basically it didn't hit like it was supposed to. It needed to go back in the oven and cook some more. This pay-per-view was missing something. There's 1 or 2 things that stood out about it, and those are the things that I'll most likely talk about. And if I give this pay-per-view a 1 mic rating, then basically this pay-per-view was trash. Basura. Garbage. Get this shit out of here. This was something that I struggled watching, that maybe I find 1 thing I like on this, if that. The rest of it is like, you could skip this. So, my review, my mic rating for this pay-per-view, WWE Backlash from Puerto Rico, I give this a 5 mic rating. This is a classic. This is a pay-per-view from start to end. It's just fantastic. Even with Cody and Brock main eventing over Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, that doesn't change the fact that Cody and Brock had a banger of a match. The Bloodline 6-man tag match with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle was a banger. Everything on this card from start to finish was really good. There really wasn't like anything I was like, you could have skipped this, or we didn't need this. Like, I highly recommend this. I had 2 match recommendations. That tells you right there, like, yo, I fucks with this pay-per-view. I even want to rewatch match recommendations because they were that good. And coming on the heels of WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year for WWE, a highly successful show, and a Mania that is arguably like up there with like in the last 10 years is like one of the best WrestleManias. They had a lot to deliver, and they fucking delivered in spades. They really did. Especially the final show before the brand split again and the draft goes into effect. There wasn't a lot of heat going into this, but man, did these matches deliver. And a lot of it has to do with Puerto Rico and the fans. So 1 time for the Puerto Rican fans, because y'all brought the energy, y'all brought your vocal cords, y'all brought your dancing shoes, y'all brought so much love and joy and support for this premium live event, and it showed. I was at home. I was highly jealous of every single person in that arena. Like, fuck, I wish I had a little bit more money to where I could have flew in and went to this, because it was just hectic from start to finish. Y'all did not even, catch your breath because it was just nonstop energy from start to finish. And it was just incredible to watch at home. Incredible to, if you're in person, witness that. I have people that went to that event that was just like, yo, this is easily one of the greatest wrestling shows I've ever been to. Or it's highly up there comparing it to like top 10 and stuff like that. Like that speaks volumes of like how good this was. A lot of this comes down to the crowd too, where it's like, yeah, people at home being like, yo, can Puerto Rico get another premium live event sometime down the line? Well, let's also think about that because you have WrestleMania and SummerSlam, which I don't see ever happening, not anytime soon, because Puerto Rico doesn't have the infrastructure for Mania or SummerSlam. They don't have the stadium that WWE covets for those two events. And then on top of that, do you really want to be in Puerto Rico in July, August, in the prime of summer for SummerSlam in an outdoor stadium where it's probably gonna be like 90, 100 degrees, humidity because it's the Caribbean? That's a lot. So maybe a Royal Rumble down the line, maybe a Money in the Bank down the line if they go into a smaller venue, maybe a Survivor Series down the line, maybe another B-level pay-per-view like we just had with Backlash. Who knows? But Puerto Rico definitely deserves it because y'all brought so much energy that now moving forward, London, you have your work cut out for you. And any other premium live event, not in even in the United States or outside the United States, y'all got to step your A games up because Puerto Rico brought an energy that was just so infectious that when I look at the social media clips, when I look at the videos on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, it's just like, man. And also as a Puerto Rican, we needed this. Out of everything that's happened in the last like 7-8 years, the island really needed this. And to have this moment in such a hotbed of wrestling, I don't think people understand how much history and culture goes into Puerto Rico and what they bring to the wrestling community for like decades and generations, from the indies to people that's made it to WWE and stuff like that. It's like, even the match quality, it's like, bro, so much rich history there. And to actually have 2 nights to celebrate this, because it wasn't just Backlash. You also had SmackDown the night before in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And you could tell WWE really wanted to make sure they put on the show because they even had different setups. Like you had a different rampway compared to most Raw, SmackDown's premium live events. You had drone shots to where they were flying in a drone into the stadium, up the concourses, through the walk area, and then into the arena, and then circling around the arena bowl. You could see WWE was like, we're going to try some stuff out because we're going to make this feel special. You had the press conference before Backlash where you had Rhea Ripley and Dominik Mysterio up there with Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega. You have Bad Bunny and Damian Priest facing off. You have Triple H showing love to the people that also helped bring WWE to Puerto Rico for a premium live event. I'm also shouting out my friend, NYC Demon Diva, aka Issa, the Demon Diva, my queen, my friend. Love you, girl. Because she's also the one that was speaking this into existence and asking Triple H, like, yo, can Puerto Rico get a premium live event? And he said, stay tuned. And man, the wait was worth it. So if you have time, go pull this up. You have 2 match recommendations. I honestly will watch this from start to end. It's probably around 3 hours for the entire pay-per-view, but it is 1000% worth it. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch, all social media platforms at It's JustinRitch. You can find me Wednesday nights on Those Wrestling Girls Twitch channel from 7 to 9 for TWGFanClub with myself, Queen PR, Brian H. Waters, and Seindole B, where we talk just what the fans are talking about, what the fans like, what the fans are discussing. This week we are talking celebrities in wrestling. You can catch me also Tuesday nights around 6:35 on Twitter Spaces for Turnbuckle Talk with Mimi and Corey, where we talk all things wrestling. You can find me from time to time on True Heel Heat Sports and True Heel Heat Wrestling. Both of those channels are located on YouTube, where we talk sports, wrestling, and all that fun stuff. I was just on True Heel Heat Sports not too long ago talking the NFL draft, the New York Giants, and where do I see the season going. And then we were just doing True Heel Heat Wrestling, watching NXT on a watch along, reviewing the up and coming talent of NXT. see where the show's going and how they're building towards their next pay-per-view. We're here. We're outside. We're active. Salute to Bad Bunny. Salute to Damian Priest. Salute to Rey Mysterio, the Latino World Order, Savio Vega, Carlito, Bailey, all my Latinos brothers and sisters, and to the island of Puerto Rico. Te amo. And on that note, we out. Peace.